Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everyone? This is Rashid. Doing my Spider-Man Far From Home review on For a Novice Reviews, a new channel. So I'll get straight to it. I did not like this movie, guys. Um, Here's why. Context: Spider-Man Homecoming. I remember watching that movie, and the anticipation had a lot to do with Tom Holland's performance in Civil War. I liked his character, liked the action, but then watching Homecoming, at first I liked it. Then I realized that it was the idea of Spider-Man being young again, being someone who was in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The idea of him having all these kind of villains to play with in the Marvel Universe. Spider-Man, he has a great rogues gallery of enemies, but he just felt too dependent. He felt too childish. He felt something about him. Just everything just feels wrong. Feels too dependent mentally. it, in your vulnerable moments. uh he had a vulnerable moment in Spider-Man Homecoming when he's trapped under rubble. He had a vulnerable moment in Infinity War when he's dying. Always goes back to Tony Stark, and there's nothing wrong with that in theory, but it just feels like that among so many other things about Tom Holland's Spider-Man is used to reinforce the idea that you aren't really Spider-Man. You're just a guy. You're more like the Marvel Universe version of Robin, and then Iron Man is your Batman, and he died, and you don't know what to do with yourself. But you're worse because Robin actually, depending on the version, became Nightwing. So, considering all those things, that you know what, he can't really fight his enemies or take them out. Less plot armor. Also, another critique: he has the worst CG when he's moving, Spider Man. That he just feels childish mentally, not just physically. I went into Far From Home wanting more, even though I wasn't expecting too much. And I was right not to expect too much because I did not like this movie. Here's what I did like about this movie: I liked Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I actually think this makes sense for Peter Parker's character to worry about MJ. That worry. mm, Oh, this is spoilers, by the way. I don't care. This is how much I dislike this movie. This is a spoiler review. Um, yeah, I don't care for Peter Parker, but I do like played by Tom Holland. But I do like, and I think it makes sense for him to whine a lot about MJ, about getting her approval, because that's a Peter Parker thing to do, to worry about girls. He's done this in other live action versions. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, you know. Um, but that was one of the few things that made sense. And also, what else did I like? I liked some of the CG on the illusions. So Mysterio's illusions, I liked his CG with that. Um, with some of the pretend monster illusions, I liked that. Trying to think of other things I liked. It's like I'm scraping for the bottom of the barrel, really. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all. Now, the things I disliked, like I said, Tom Holland, his Peter Parker, to me, I dislike him so much. He's the most unlikable to me. There's something, everything in this movie just felt like all the flaws all the issues that I have with this Spider-Man, they actually turn it into a joke. His Spidey sense not being there unless it's plot armor. And they literally make confirm in this movie until the third battle with Mysterio, he doesn't properly have or use his spider sense. They make jokes, little jokes here and there, like Aunt May throws a banana at him and says, "Oh, I thought you would have spidey sense. Why wouldn't you catch that?" But they don't. They even say, or they even call it a Peter tingle. I hate that. Um, I can go on. There's so many things. I'd have to do like a very long review. Um, and then yeah, it just seems so dependent on other people. I'd love. This is why, ironically, him traveling in this movie to Europe, I've never more wanted him to stay in New York and find other enemies in New York to fight, whether it's gangsters with super strength, Tombstone, more or less Kingpin. Kingpin is meant to be a human, but he can bear hug Spider-Man, which should make no sense because he has super strength and can bench press a train. Um, this people like Hobgoblin, Morbius. He has such a mix of good villains that it's weird that Spider-Man just doesn't stay in New York for me and play with that environment. And then last thing, what else did I dislike? I didn't even care for it as a high school comedy movie. There's a good movie that's out right now called Booksmart. That's a good high school comedy movie with drama where you feel for characters and you take it more seriously, the story. I'm trying to think of another example. Hmm. It'll come to mind. There are other good high school movies that are out right now that have been out in the past. Super bad. They are much better. So I'll just leave it there. Spider-Man Far From Home, thumbs down for me. I'm out.